Okay, guys, here we are back for another week. Last week we talked about the great I am, where Jesus said, I am the bread of life, where he took away the focus from the natural, the most basic need and instinct we have as people to eat. He took it away from eating bread in the natural and said, I am the bread of life, shifting the focus on salvation, on eternity, on our spiritual life. So if we really want to represent him, we have to represent the bread of life. And we ask, okay, what is your focus in life? We have to focus on him. We have to make him a priority. Today we talk about the second thing where Jesus said, I am the light of the world. And that is found in John 8 verse 12. John 8 verse 12 says, Then Jesus spoke to them saying, I am the light of the world. He who follows me shall not walk in darkness, but have the light of life. He said, I am the light of the world. Now again, we said context is so important. Now, what is the context in which Jesus said, I am the light of the world? If you go into the Bible and you go to the previous chapters, you will see that the Pharisees wanted to trap Jesus. So they brought a woman caught in the very act of adultery before Jesus, throw her at his feet and say, Jesus, she was caught in the very act of adultery. Moses' law said we should stone her, kill her. What do you say? See, they wanted to trap Jesus, because if he would say, yes, stone her, then all of a sudden the message of him and forgiveness would be irrelevant. If he would say, no, don't stone her because we will have to forgive, then all of a sudden they would say, hey, he's against the law of Moses. See, he's leading the people astray. So it was a very tricky situation. But you know what Jesus did? He bent down, he wrote into the sand, and he said, okay, whoever is without sin may cast the first stone. They all left. And the woman was there alone. And he said, okay, you know what? I will not condemn you. Go, but sin no more. See, that is the context. Then Jesus said, you know what? I am the light of the world. I get you to the point why Jesus said that and what that really means. But my question to you right now is, why do you need light? What for do you need the light? So that you can see, right? So that you can walk, so that you won't stumble, that you won't run into things. You know what? I'm reminded of an episode in Mythbusters where they were talking about pirates and why they have the eye patch. And they made a whole course in the dark, complete pitch black. And then Adam was going around, first of all, just coming from the light into it, and he couldn't see at all. Then they did an eye patch little thingy, and then he went through it again, and then he took off the eye patch, but because the eye was already used to the dark, he could see and get through the course rather quickly. See, the thing is, if we come from the light and we get into the dark, we cannot see anything. And all of a sudden it becomes very difficult to navigate where we are supposed to go, what we are supposed to do. But the sad thing is, you can get used to the darkness. And then you start to see a little bit because your eyes are getting used to it. So that means for our life, we can get used to the darkness. You can get used to sin and things that are not right in your life. So we have to make it a point and say, you know what? I don't want to get used to the darkness. I want to walk in the light. And who is the light? Jesus Christ. I want to walk like he did. I want to emulate his life so that I can be a true representative of Jesus Christ. So when people look at me, they see the light, not because I am light, but they see the light who he is in my life. That I talk differently, that I carry myself differently, that I am different in a good way because I walk in the light, just like Jesus is the light. I follow him. People can see the light. Now coming back to the story where Jesus just said, okay, go and sin no more to that woman. What did he show the people? He showed the people that he was all about forgiveness, isn't it? Because he didn't say, okay, stone her, she deserves it. He said, you know what? I am the way, I am the truth, I am the life. I am the light of the world. That's what he said in this situation. I am the light. And what did Jesus do? He showed them, he shed light on the situation. And he said, you know what? I do not condemn her as long as she goes and sins no more. So he showed the way to forgiveness. So if we want to follow Jesus' footstep and follow the light that he shone on our lives, shone, that's a word, right? He shone on us, then we have to start walking in forgiveness as well. So that when people look at us, they don't see somebody harsh, who's always grumpy, who's always so strict, but they see people who are loving, a person that is forgiving, a person that is just easy and good to be around. So with this, I'm going to open up for a time of discussion and questions. So I see you there, guys.